Welcome back to the channel, Guardians. We've had a few support classes in Destiny, your Bubble and Ursa Titans, your Phoenix Protocol Well of Radiance Warlocks, and now we have a new Warlock build that acts as a support class for your fire team, all based around the new Dungeon Exotic Trace Rifle, the new Warlock Exotic Helmet, released with Season 21, and a Strand build that acts as an ad clearer whilst generating heavy ammo for your fire team, as well as granting Woven Mail to your team also. Blood, sweat and tears go into the making of my videos, so drop that like button a slap if you find this informative. Let's begin. Let's cover the exotics that interact with this build first, starting with the new exotic helmet, Cenotaph Mask. Its high priority exotic perk auto-loads your equipped trace rifle from reserves and marks bosses and champions as long as the trace rifle matches your subclass element, in this case, Strand. Marking said targets with a fire team member landing the final blow will generate heavy ammo for them. What the description doesn't say, however, is that when allies defeat marked targets, you'll get an ammo finder notification and a green brick will spawn where the target was defeated, keeping the special ammo flow going for you, making it very useful for this build in particular as you'll be running double special weapons. Talking of special weapons, if you haven't got the new Navigator Exotic Trace Rifle from Ghosts of the Deep yet, this might convince you to grind those dungeon triumphs to increase the chances of a drop. Firing at an ally grants Woven Mail to them, and the user also, allowing for increased damage resistance. Not only that, continuous fire on a target severs them, reducing the damage output of combatants. To recap, the Navigator paired with Cenotaph Mask marks champions and bosses, severs them if sustained damage is done to the target. If an ally defeats them within 10 seconds of being marked, heavy ammo will spawn for the ally and a special ammo brick will spawn for the user, and shooting at the ally with the trace grants Woven Mail to the user and recipient. It does take around 5 shots to proc this ability. This combination is perfect if you want to generate heavy ammo for allies running rocket launchers, and with the current seasonal perks for Strand, it makes this build even stronger. Strand Soldier in the 4th column grants unravelling rounds when you gain Woven Mail, with improved unravelling in the 3rd column increasing the damage of unravel, whilst Conductive Cosmic Needle in the final column allows arc and void abilities to do increased damage on Strand debuff targets. This is the use case, people. Navigator grants Woven Mail to the user when shooting an ally, you instantly get unravelling rounds on your trace rifle, debuffing targets, allowing Thunder Crash, Gathering Storm, Nova Bomb, just to name a few supers to do increased damage due to the Strand debuffs. On top of that, throw in Overload Trace Rifles to stun Overload champions. Although this does stop the Navigator from stunning barriers, it's the perfect support class for endgame team activities such as dungeons, high-end Nightfalls, just to name a few. With Unstoppable Glaive also equipped on the artifact, you can slot any glaive of your choosing to stun unstoppables in the energy slot. Running double specials is perfect for this build as heavy ammo drops will increase, and to take advantage of unravelling rounds, slot a heavy Strand weapon. I'll leave that to you, but I went with Circular Logic, the machine gun, very strong for ad clearing and stunning barrier champions when the unravel rounds are procced, effectively giving this build a counter to all champion types. Before we get into the catalyst of the Navigator and the rest of this Strand setup, please drop a like and subscribe if you are enjoying this video. It's good for the metrics, and I do need to get back in favour with the algorithm. You know what to do. If your fire team are also running Strand, and Grapple in particular, this build can help with that too, as the Navigator's Catalyst will allow it to alt fire and shoot a grapple point that has a 30-second cooldown. This will allow you to constantly spam grapple melee for you and your team also. Now for the Strand build in itself, we obviously just mentioned the grapple melee, which, paired with the Mind Spun Invocation aspect, spawns 3 Threadlings on hit, allowing for massive damage to yellow bars and grouped up combatants. This build also utilises the new aspect, the Wanderer, turning your Tangles into Suspenders, which takes out combatants from action while stunning unstoppable champions in endgame content. Then, for Fragments, Continuity will increase the duration of all Strand debuffs, including your Unravelling, whilst Warding will grant Woven Mail on all pickup, which paired with Strand Siphon and heavy-handed mods will create a healthy source of orbs of power. Remember, obtaining Woven Mail grants unravelling rounds, so on all pickup you will also receive this benefit. For the rest of the mods, Recuperation will come in handy at close quarters, restoring health on all pickup, while Strand Surge mods will come in handy for your Trace Rifle and Heavy Strand weapon. For the full details of this build, a dim link will be in the description. This build is great for fireteam based gameplay, but I would consider just for that alone. You lose a lot of the perks of using this build if playing solo, such as Woven Mail buff on shooting allies, marking targets doesn't do anything if playing solo, and the build does lack DPS options. It's purely a support class, therefore you might only want to whip this out in Nightfalls, dungeons and raids when in a fire team. Made it to the end? Nice one! That's the end of this video, folks. How did you find the video? Please leave feedback in the comments section. Is there something you feel I should be doing better? The channel has been struggling of late and I need to see what's going wrong. Next up on the channel, the Arc Hunter build that got me the solo flawless Ghost of the Deep clear. It's absolutely nuts and you cannot be killed when using it. Watch this space. This was Plasma Alchemist. Your viewership is much appreciated. Until next time, see you later.
I'm reading dense hive signatures in a facility up ahead. I don't like this. It feels like a trap.
That spoiled their plans.